As you can see, I am here at my rented office space for the first time ever on Morning Musings, I think. I am at the office because I need to get some work done and because I want to record a video. I haven't posted a morning musing in probably 10 days. I don't know how long it's been. And I have a litany of excuses, and they all stem from barriers. It has been raining, so when I'm outside walking the dog, I don't want to do a video. Inside the house, my laptop, I don't like working with a laptop to edit videos, on and on and on. So here at the rented office space, I have the computer that I used to use in my writing studio at home. I can't use the writing studio in the winter because the insulation isn't good, so I come in here to do my work. And like I say, I have a litany of excuses, and they all boil down to barriers. In many cases, barriers prevent us from doing the things that we want to do. In this case, not having this computer, having it rain outside, on and on, these things have kept me from recording and editing and posting videos. But I also think of my fitness. I can come up with all sorts of reasons not to work out. It's just easy to come up with those reasons. And so little things become barriers to me getting exercise. I have to put on my gym clothes. I have to go find my gym clothes, put them on, put on the shoes. Then I have to find the car keys, or I have to get the bike ready to go ride. These are dumb little things, but they prevent me from exercising when I think I want to exercise. And I'm not the only one. This happens to almost everybody I know. When I got fit in 2010, 2011, I deliberately tried to remove as many barriers as possible. I would go to bed in my gym clothes. I scheduled my workouts for first thing in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. So I would get up at 6, hop in the car without doing anything. Well, I'd brush my teeth, but without doing anything else, because I didn't want time to wake up and come up with these excuses. And then I would go work out. I tried to remove as many barriers as possible. When I started saving for retirement, I had to remove as many barriers between me and the retirement savings as possible too, which meant automating my retirement savings. In fact, that's one of the reasons that I encourage people to automate their personal finances whenever possible, is because that automation bypasses these mental barriers that we have. And it's not just mental barriers. A lot of times there are physical barriers to doing what we want to do. For example, right now, I need to deposit some checks at my credit union. I need to get the money in the bank. I have $2,000 in checks that needs to be in the bank to pay bills next month. But the local branch is closed down, so I have to drive an extra 15 minutes both ways to get to the bank to make the physical deposit. They don't have an app. So that's a barrier to me doing what I need to do. But I brought the checks with me today. I'm going to go make that deposit after I'm done working here at the office. So barriers can prevent us from doing the things we want to do. But barriers are not all bad. In fact, often you can use barriers to your advantage. My friend Manish Sethi calls this pre-commitment. And the example he likes to use, and I like this example too, is Ulysses or Odysseus from mythology. You know, Ulysses, he wanted to hear the cry of the sirens, but anyone who heard the cry of the sirens was lured to their doom. So what he had his men do, they were sailing their ship, they were trying to find their way home. He had his men plug their ears, tie him to the mast. Ulysses was tied to the mast, and they sailed by the island of the sirens so that Ulysses could hear the sirens call and his men would not be affected. And this is an example of using a barrier, being tied to the mast, to prevent you from doing something that you don't want to do. Now, in real life, you can do the same thing. You can create barriers between you and bad behavior. Let me give you an example here at the office. Back here, what are you doing? Look at the dog. I don't have any idea what she's doing there. But down below there, you can see I have a bottle of nice Japanese whiskey. It's Hibiki. I really like it. But it's here at the office. I'm not going to drink here at the office. It's not at home. I have it in case somebody's going to come over and there's a special occasion and I want to share it with somebody. But I don't keep it at home. I create this barrier between me and the whiskey. It's here at the office. When I was learning how to manage my money, I had to create similar barriers to prevent me from exercising bad behavior. Some of these were really simple. For example, I didn't let myself go into bookstores or comic book shops because I knew that if I went in, I would spend money. So the barrier I created there was I just didn't go into the shops. I also had to separate my savings account from my checking account. My checking account was at one bank, my savings account was at another, because it was just all too tempting for me. If I knew I had money in savings and I could access it through my checking account, it was just all too easy for me to do that and to spend the money frivolously. I hadn't learned discipline yet. So I had to create this artificial barrier between me and bad behavior by having the money at a separate savings account that I had to access through other means than my debit card. My challenge to you is to look at your life and think about, okay, how can I remove the barriers between me and what I want to do? And how can I build barriers between me and the things that I do that I don't really want to do? I think it's interesting to look at your life and try to figure that kind of stuff out. I encourage you to do it. That's it for today. I'll see you soon, the next time I get over the barrier of having my good video stuff here at the rented office space.